David, where were you in the year 2000?
I think I was an unsuccessful comedian.
You weren't the other half of this loveless marriage, were you? This is the worst bookings disaster we've ever had. Richard, any idea where you were?
I was at home.
For the whole year?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I was. I actually recorded an entire series of Friends and edited out all the adverts. Manually. That's VCR. And that's pausing, waiting, unpausing. And that saves on the DVD purchase. So, that's what I did.
Well, good news, Sarah. We found something more depressing than your answer. It's a bit of luck there. What were the chances? Noel, where were you at the turn of the century?
I've no idea, Jimmy. I don't know where I was this morning, so I'm not going to remember where I was.
Right, let's get to it. The first round is all about news headlines, so let's remind ourselves what happened. The noughties was the decade when we lost faith in MPs. The expenses scandal hit. Some MPs claimed they were being victimised. God, they'd claim for anything, mightn't they? Jackie Smith's husband spent taxpayers' money on porno movies. He tried to cover up what he'd been doing by putting a cushion over his lap. Using taxpayers' money for porn, terrible. I'd be livid if I paid a bit more tax. Well, the credit crunch threw the future of the euro into doubt. In Spain, they were so racked with anxiety, many people could barely get off to sleep in the afternoon. Of course, it wouldn't be a quiz without questions, right? Eyes down, here's your first round. The naughties started with an audacious heist at the newly opened Millennium Dome. What were they trying to steal? It was properly like a James Bond-style heist.
We write this down now, isn't it?
This is the quiz.
The talking is over, the exam has begun.
Someone audacious.
Was it audacious?
No, there wasn't someone audacious. It was an audacious heist.
The heist was audacious, thank you.
Can a totally unaudacious person do an audacious heist?
Oh, he's dropped a logic
This
bomb.
is so out of character for me.
Our next question comes from a very special guest, the star of one of the biggest shows of the decade. It's Greg Wallace, everyone. Greg Wallace.
Hello, Jimmy. Now, you know how much I love foreign cuisine, but I was so angry when the American House of Representatives changed the name of French fries. They did it because the French protested against the war in Iraq in 2003. But what did they change the name to?
I love him.
What is not to love?
Yeah, he's a greengrocer, isn't he?
Is it one of the responsibilities of the House of Representatives in America to name all the foods? I didn't realise that was their system. Because that must take up a lot of their time, legislatively speaking. Sort of go, we've got to think of a name for all these vegetables and sauces and dips. There's the Republicans want to call apples bastards. Yeah. The Democrats have to fight that to stop that.
I think I'd want to call it apples bastards.
Yeah, no, it's an excellent
really
policy.
Like them. Just a toffee bastard. To ask for a toffee bastard at a fairground would make me very, very happy indeed.
A toffee bastard is a much better name for a toffee apple, because they sort of are bastards.
Well, yeah, because you get round the nice bit and then it just goes to shit in the middle.
OK. From July 2007, what could you only do in a few select places, including bus shelters, prison cells and designated rooms on oil rigs? Have you got something?
Yeah, we do.
Right. All right.
Sort of.
Now, it wouldn't be a big fact quiz without the amazingly talented children of Mitchellbrook Primary School in Neasden and their unconventional school plays. They've acted out one of the biggest news stories of the noughties for us. Have a look and write down what you think the story is.
Welcome back to our show about questions. This is your last question for lots of monies. What is your final answer? Let me think. A. B. C. I think it's C. That's the right answer. Yay! Congratulations, here's your money.
Wait a minute. That man was helping him.
Oh, no! Give me that back.
You're a naughty cheater. Come with us.
A remarkable play there. So what I need to do is, what's the story? And I need the name of the protagonist.
What the hell have you written there? Hieroglyphics. I can't even see what it is.
Kevin is slightly blown away by the technology. OK, final question in this first round. America was devastated by 9/11, but what did President George W. Bush continue to read after being informed of the attacks?
It was a hungry cat.
It's a big fat quiz, so we go straight to the answers. Does everyone got everything? The problem children, Richard and Noel?
Hey, now, come on, don't be hostile.
Have you got 5 answers?
Yeah, it's a real shame. Why? Why, Jimmy? Why?
We're taking it serious this time.
OK, as long as you're...
Got my serious hat on.
Such a shame.
OK, I asked you what a gang of thieves tried to steal from the newly opened Millennium Dome. What did you put? Kevin?
Let him take the fall
I
for
thought they'd
this.
stolen the actual dome.
Well, that would certainly be audacious.
Have you seen it since?
Richard and Noel, what did you get for this?
The concept of audacity.
I didn't agree with that, so I'd wrote Aswad.
Yeah.
You know, the reggae band.
I'm familiar with their work, yes.
We all are. We're not idiots.
He makes a very good point.
We could have written diamonds, but, you know.
David, Sarah.
We did write diamonds. Yeah.
Well, I will accept diamonds. They actually tried to steal the Millennium Star Diamond. Have a look at it. Oh. Look at that. They tried to steal it. So you got it right. Point to Sarah and David. First one out of the way. Great. OK, Greg Wallace asked you what the US House of Representatives renamed French fries in the run-up to the Iraq War. What did you all put?
Potato wands.
Potato.
I wanted to say potato wangers, but Rich said no.
It's a family show.
It's a family show. It's a family quiz, Jimmy.
I was going to say chips. That's what I called fries during the Iraq War.
You knew this one. What did you go for, Alan?
Freedom fries.
Sarah, David, you...
We've got freedom fries as well. Did they change everything? Did they change, like, fillet of fish?
But it's O fish, so it's sort of a bit French and a bit Irish.
Yeah, fillet of fish.
And the Irish...
It's fusion cuisine, isn't it?
No, it was the most futile political gesture.
It's fruitile.
Kevin Allen, you got that right. Sarah, David, you got that right. 2 points there, no point for potato wands. What could you only do in bus shelters, prison cells and designated rooms on oil rigs from July 2007 onwards? Did you all get this?
Eventually. Well, it's when you said the bus shelters, I thought it must be fuck then. But then David corrected me that you're not supposed to fuck in bus shelters. So changed it to smoke.
You got this, Alan, Kevin?
Well, I remember, because every one of my mates used to smoke, 'cause I would always just be sat in the pub myself and they're outside. So I was on the gum and the patches trying to start smoking after the smoking ban.
Richard and Noel, what did you think people wouldn't be able to do?
Kung
after...
Fu. And you can't anymore. They ruin everything, don't they?
That's PC gone mad, isn't it?
It is.
OK, the children of Mitchellbrook Primary School performed one of their school plays. What news story did you think it was about? David and Sarah, what have you got?
We've got the coffin major, but then you asked for the name of the protagonist, so we wrote Chris Tarrant.
I think I'm going to have to give you points for that. That's the guy cheating on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Major Charles Ingram.
Kevin decided to write just the lower half of the sentence.
It's supposed to say coughing cheat, but I don't know where I lost it there. I think after the G.
I think the C, love.
Richard and Noel, what did you go for there?
This is... Go for it.
The Manchurian Candidate. There's a scene towards the start, which is... It's like it's a flashback.
Towards the start?
Yeah.
Not towards the end?
No.
Towards the start.
Well, it's a flashback structure.
Right.
So, is it the start, is it the end? One of the questions I posed.
And the guy in the audience who was coughing, his name was Tequin. And I thought, if you're going to get somebody on your team that potentially knows everything, it's a guy called Tequin.
Every time you laugh, I can't believe that's your laugh.
It sounds like a goose being interfered with.
Do you remember when you first laughed, and did it frighten you?
It did freak me out a little bit. It was a weird... Because people looked at me in a weird way when I laughed.
Did you think for about 2 years it's someone else laughing? Then you saw a mirror and went, oh, shit, that's me.
Finally, I asked you what George W. Bush was reading on 9/11. What have you put?
No, we'll go
Yeah,
for...
for 50 Shades of Grey, he was feeling a bit horny, and then he heard the news, but he just kept on going.
Sarah and David, you went with?
The Hungry Caterpillar, because he's learning to read. And that's the one we all start off on.
And Richard and Noel, you went with?
Super Ted.
I can tell you, you're all wrong there. He was reading to a group of children, and he was reading a book called The Pet Goat. He was informed what happened, and he continued to read.
I think we should get a point because it was a children's book.
I think we should get a point as well, because the little goat's well horny. It gets me off. That's a dirty little goat.
At the end of the first round, let's take a look at the scores. Kevin and Alan have 3 points. Sarah and David have 4 points. Richard and Noel have no points so far. So far.